SpaceX are back at it again, trying to bring more things into space. They have gone from taking new spaceships into the atmosphere to now trying to send up a telescope. This new telescope is specifically designed to look for dark matter. So stay tuned to today's video as we discuss how SpaceX will take NASA's dark matter telescope into space. First up, SpaceX took a $200 million contract to take NASA's new space telescope into space to look for dark matter. SpaceX have been trying to work with NASA over the last few years, and it looks like one of their biggest missions is finally coming to fruition. Musk has been in talks with NASA for a long time now, and finally, they have allowed his company SpaceX to launch something of theirs. It looks like the Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope will finally be launched sometime this decade, with the goal of investigating the effects of dark matter, dark energy, and even exoplanet exploration. This bronze new telescope will be launched by SpaceX through the Falcon Heavy rocket, setting off from Launch Complex 39A at NASA's Kennedy Space Center. From what we can tell, this will launch from Florida in 2026, and the contract has been set at around $255 million. This price includes the launch service and other mission-related costs that will need to be taken out. The telescope's mission is currently targeted to launch in October 2026, as specified in the contract, on a Falcon Heavy rocket from Launch Complex 39A at NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida, the American Space Agency said in a statement. The Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope, nicknamed NGRT, was designed in the first place to answer questions surrounding dark matter and our galaxy. As many of us know, 68% of total energy in the entire cosmos has been speculated to be dark energy, and it is even leading to the expansion of our universe. NASA wants to find out what is going on and why this acceleration is being caused by this new energy. The telescope has a mirror that is 2.4 meters in diameter, which is at the same size as the impeccable Hubble telescope. Surprisingly, NASA's new Roman Space Telescope has a field of view that is around 100 times greater than even the Hubble telescope's infrared. As well as this new craft is equipped with two new instruments, a wide field instrument and the coronagraph. These allow the telescope to measure light from around billions of galaxies away. The project plan has around a lifetime of 5 years, but could even have a possible mission extension of around 5 more years. Development on this craft goes all the way back to 2010, but of course SpaceX has just been granted the release of using it. This telescope is going to break your mind and separate things into individual galaxies of dark matter. We will be able to see growth spurts and even slowdowns of galaxies from billions of light years away. It's going to be insane. Please let us know down in the comments section below how you feel about all of this, and also tell us what you think about SpaceX helming this brand new project. And now, onto some other SpaceX and Elon Musk news. Next, SpaceX's next launch has been postponed due to damages. It looks like SpaceX's next possible launch has been postponed due to some damages to the flight crew. They delayed the next US flight to the International Space Station from early September to no earlier than the end of September, around the 29th. This gives the ground teams enough time to replace an interstage on the mission's new Falcon 9 booster, as it was damaged during transport there. The booster stage was riding horizontally in a truck, but struck a bridge during the trip from SpaceX's factory in Hawthorne to Texas, where the rocket was going to be test fired. It would have then moved to the Kennedy Space Center for launch preparations. The crew was meant to fly in no earlier than September the 1st, but in mid-July, NASA announced that the crew would be departing no earlier than September 29th. SpaceX is removing and replacing the rocket's interstage and some onboard instrumentation after the hardware was damaged during transportation from SpaceX's production factory in Hawthorne, California, to the company's McGregor test facility in Texas for stage testing. NASA said in a statement, "The interstage is the black section near the top of the reusable 15-story tall first stage. During the first phase of the launch, the upper stage's large Merlin engine nozzle sits inside the interstage, which also holds the rocket's grid fins used for control and stability during the rocket's re-entry and landing." NASA said its engineers reviewed SpaceX load, shock, and structural analyses of the booster, along with detailed and X-ray inspections. The work verified the damage was isolated to the interstage, according to NASA. After all replacement hardware is installed, the booster will undergo stage testing and be further assessed prior to acceptance and certification for flight, NASA said. NASA astronaut Nicole Mann will command the planned 6-month Crew 5 mission. She will be joined by NASA astronaut Josh Cassada, Japanese astronaut Koichi Wakata, and Russian cosmonaut Anna Kikina, who will become the first Russian to fly on a SpaceX Crew Dragon spacecraft. A contract extension has also been applied to this mission into late February of next year, meaning that if this mission needs to be pushed back even further, it could take place around then. Despite SpaceX being one of the most popular and biggest space companies right now, clearly they all have some mistakes. This disruption over the mission through travel damages means that this mission is going to take longer than expected. Of course, it's not the worst thing in the world, as at least the mission can still carry on, but it would have been bad to have done it by the end of September. What do you think about this? Let us know down below. And finally, Musk pulls out on buying Twitter. Running SpaceX isn't the only thing CEO Elon Musk does. Most recently, he was in the news for announcing his purchase of social media platform Twitter for around $44 billion. However, months later, it looks like Musk does not want to buy the platform and pulled out of the agreement with Twitter. You might think that this was just the end of it, but that would be completely wrong, as Musk legally cannot just pull out of the merger. Musk legally had to buy the platform, but only pulled out because of Tesla's stock decreasing, meaning that he could not buy the company. Despite being the richest man in the world, Musk doesn't just have a default $1 billion lying around, so he would have had to pull his assets to purchase the company, and maybe even owe them some extra money once the purchase was complete. Since the announcement of Musk pulling out, Twitter has been going on about the SpaceX CEO needing to buy the company. They have just announced that on September 30th, they'll be holding an acquisitions meeting with Musk about buying the company. This meeting is going to take place at 10 a.m. on that date and will be available to the public via webcast. Shareholders will then be able to watch the meeting live and vote on what should happen. This will be done by filing with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Twitter's board director has also gone on to urge the shareholders to approve the company's sale to Musk, as it is a legal agreement and Musk must abide by it. Clearly, Twitter themselves seemingly don't want the company, and being bought by Musk was a great idea on paper. Back in early July, Musk notified Twitter that he was planning to cancel his acquisition, citing legal allegations that the company didn't provide the amount of spam and fraud accounts on the service. This was amongst many other disputes between the two, but clearly Musk pulled out for other reasons. Twitter has then gone on to sue Musk to try and enforce the deal of him buying the company. This is something they could legally do, assuming it forces him to go through with the acquisition, meaning Twitter will be sold no matter what. This trial is set to take place in October, but both parties are still fighting over the day to set it in stone. We don't know much more about this side of the deal, but clearly a legal case is going to go down between Musk and Twitter. Many theorized that Musk pulled out of the Twitter deal because he didn't realize what the platform really was, and also the backlash against him was very bad. When it was announced Musk would be buying the platform, Twitter users went crazy, saying that they didn't want Musk to take over the platform and remove free speech. Despite Musk announcing that he wouldn't be changing anything on the platform and just wanted to oversee it, they clearly still didn't care. Since Musk spoke about buying Twitter, the company's stocks have been falling. When it was announced Musk wouldn't be buying Twitter, both Tesla and Twitter stocks rose to some of the highest in the last few months. Clearly something weird is going on here, and we don't know what, but stay tuned to the internet to find out how this case will go down between Musk and Twitter. And that's the end of today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed this latest video. If you did, would you please let us know down in the comment section below? It would be very helpful. Make sure to like the video, comment down below, and of course subscribe to the channel with the notification bell rung. Thank you for watching today's video. Bye!